Give me a few minutes. Let me get everything set up. All right. Okay, so we'll do something. Actually, what I've got to do today, I should put on my lapel mic, but I'm not going to, is I've got to make some shelves for my mother. And we're going to be making them out of this board. And they need to be 15 inches across. So that's the easiest thing. I need to get the board cut. And they're just shelves that are going in the kitchen, and they don't need to be perfect or anything. So we won't worry about being perfect, because I'm not known for being the most accurate here. Alright, that'll be the first one. I'm just going to cut them with a skill saw instead of miter saw. Board's a little too long. Put something on TV for me to listen to also. Hopefully it don't get it. We'll put the Wi-Fi on.
I'm afraid there's been a terrible accident. Really? What happened? A milk truck careened into his dear camel gurney. It means lost control. I know what it means, Mr. Farthington. Not the Farthington.
You can go ahead and make a longer line.
For me to reach Mr. Moriarty immediately, please give me his name, address, and email. Well, Gertie's fine. I'm looking at the cameras right now. And she's
No, it doesn't have to be perfect. You know.
I told her to cover the camera. Why did you call me
Shitty.
pretending to be someone else? You knew it was me? Yes, I knew it was you, Dr. Carlotta von whatever. Crap. I knew I should have used my Starsky wig. It wasn't Hutch. It's Starsky. What do you want? Yeah, fine. This morning Look, just sign up for Aura. Aura? Oh, is that some of your info to spammers and robocallers. And Aura can submit opt-out requests on your behalf. And Aura does a lot more than protect you from data brokers. You can set up antivirus, parental controls, password management, and identity theft insurance. All for one easy app at one affordable price.
15 inches.
Helping Gertie and her mother try on his shoes. Oy vey, I've never seen so many camel toes in one place. Well, you can either let people continue to exploit and profit off your private information, or you can go to aura.com/files, start your 2-week free trial, or just click the link in the description. Aura.com/Wi-Files, got it. I'll do it in just
what was
Hey, is
happening.
your wife making in a size 52?
I think that's what was happening.
Goodbye. Change your plans, honey. Today we'll play Golden Candle and the Three Beavers.
Yeah, I'd rather you didn't.
Look, that's...
Alright, there we go. We got our 2 shelves. That's all we need. We've already got 5 of them up there.
Earlier, when he discovered a merchant ship that was
This
sunk
out
by
of the way.
German U-boats in World War I. The wreck was loaded with hundreds of bottles of rare cognac and brandy. The bottles were sold at auction for $20,000 each in today's money. That was enough of a nest egg for Peter to launch an ocean X.
We'll be sanding now, so we're going to drop down a little bit.
Peter Dennis knew the ocean floor beneath the busy shipping lanes of the Baltic were loaded with prizes. To this day, 2 or 3 dozen ships go missing every year. Many of those disappear in the Baltic. They were on a routine survey mission when their tour ended. Everyone on the ship gathered around the machine to see what they
A
discovered.
little bit more
The
coffee.
stars slowly started to paint a picture. They couldn't tell what it was. A merchant ship? A submarine? Was it anything of value? When the image finally finished processing, it revealed a circular object that didn't look natural. It looked man-made. Well, maybe not man-made. It looked like a UFO.
Oh, he looks like the aluminum fountain.
Millennium Falcon.
What'd I say?
Oh, shit.
It was 12 feet wide and was lying in the It looked like it was in the water and slid 100 feet across the sea. The object appeared to have a hole.
Actually, aren't too
and
rough.
straight lines right
Maybe
now.
a little bit of sand in.
Peter Dennis gave her orders. Don't say anything about the object until they figure out what it is.
It's itches.
Well, they were
Crooked as hell,
decided
but-
they didn't want to.
Yeah, it don't matter.
Fine.
Rules of the street, rules of the sea.
Anyway, they studied the image for weeks and were stumped. Finally, they decided to go public. The image went viral and landed in every newspaper and every broadcast in the world.
Buckle up, Star Wars nerds. You're gonna like this one.
I don't think you described us the wreckage of a crashed spaceship.
The genie was out of the bottle. There was no going back.
They came across something unusual.
Now, everyone on Earth knew something mysterious was happening at the bottom of the Baltic. The hope was all that media coverage would help finance a return expedition to the site. If they could get back there, they'd dive to the object. They'd map the entire area in 3 days. So the team started
All right, well, let me see if the camera's looking about close to the right way.
Is it a natural formation?
Yeah, that'll
I
work.
don't know.
Yeah,
It's
it will
the
work.
lost city of Atlantis.
All right, we'll sand for a little while.
Why not?
Well, because in 1968,
Watch some
Atlantis
TV.
was already down.
Oh, it's got a crack in it. That don't matter.
In June 1938, Edgar Casey lay back on his
Let me put my closed captioning on so I can hear what the hell's going on.
powerful island nation with advanced technology. Then there was a cataclysm.
Yeah.
Volcano.
too much
And Bimini Road would
about
run right through
the
the middle of it.
looks of it, because actually I've got it painted. It's gonna be painted gray.
You can see the Bahamas not depicted as a bunch of small islands. It's shown as a single
Getting
large
sawdust
island
in my coffee.
running right through the middle, something that looks
Alright. But that's all I'm gonna worry about sanding, honestly.
after docking a Navy ship, they drop the fish in the water.
Let's go sort the paint.
This is not scanning sonar. It
Do I
paints
have
a
to drop
two-dimensional
off
image
or
of the
something?
ocean.
Let's see what I
They
got.
also use a
See what
multi-beam
that's
echo
like.
detector that is sound waves that create a three-dimensional image of the seabed. But then they hit another snag. They lost their sonar.
That
Something
looks like
safe
that'll
there.
work.
They
I wanna get paint all over my bench.
dropped an ROV in the water.
Maybe this will work. It's plastic.
The ROV is a remotely
Yeah,
operated
that'll
underwater
work.
vehicle. Basically, it's a small submarine with a camera and a gravity arm. Somehow, they got the sonar cable and they repaired it. But this cost them a lot of time and morale is low.
Alright.
48 hours later, they find the object.
1, 2,
300 feet down.
3, 4, 1, 2.
That's deep and dangerous. So the ROV goes first. And they get
These
the
are
first
like my
possible
favorite
images of the
thing.
island.
When you're painting something. Alright, let me go find a paint and a paintbrush. I'll be right
Sonar
back.
shows a perfectly round hole
We got
about 10
another
feet
room
wide,
over there.
and it's surrounded by a square frame. Nature doesn't produce perfect geometry like this. They're excited to get down there and see the object with their own eyes. But they're getting strange temperature readings. The water is about 40 degrees Fahrenheit, but the water right above the vessel is below freezing.
Well, how is that possible?
Well, they don't know. Then a fog rolls in. This makes deep diving very dangerous. They get the feeling that something wants to keep them away. Still, they decide to dive. After descending 300 feet down, they arrive at the object. It feels like concrete. They touch it and the material turns black. They want to get in a few more dives, but are out of time and money. Diving 300 feet means you need to take about 90 minutes to return to the surface. readjust the pressure. Return to the surface too fast, and you can rupture a lung or worse. They have to turn back, and they have another problem. Their 3D scan is incomplete, and there's nothing they can do about it.
Oh no.
But they brought hammers and chisels on their dive. They managed to chip off pieces of the object. So they return to port and send the samples to a lab, hoping someone can tell them, what the hell is this thing? When Christopher Columbus sailed across the Atlantic in search of a new route to India, he found something else. And it wasn't the New World. Well, he did find that, but he found something else first. Like every good captain, Columbus kept a journal of the entire voyage. His full journal is available and it's worth reading. But there's one specific entry that stands out.
Got a brush, got a stir.
October 11th, 10 p.m. I and Pedro Gutierrez, while on the deck of the Santa Maria, observed a light glimmering at a great distance. It vanished and reappeared several times during the night, moving up and down in sudden and passing gleams. It was sighted for 4 hours.
Good Columbus saw a UFO?
He did. Well, technically, he saw a USO, unidentified submerged object. Columbus made his first landfall the next day, which means he had his UFO sighting while he was in the Bermuda Triangle. There have been sightings of underwater lights ever since.
All right, we get ready to
Two
go.
bright lights rise out of the water. In 1873, the Edelheid sailed over something in the South China Sea that lit up the ocean for over an hour. They said it looked like a Ferris wheel. In 1879, the HMS Vulture saw a large Ferris wheel spinning in the ocean.
Nothing
In
fancy,
1880,
nothing
Commander of
fancy.
the SS Shah Jahan described a massive Ferris wheel under a calm sea near India's coast. Later that year, another ship with the British India Company saw the same object. They said it was 300 yards long. Those are just a few of the many reports of this object. There are reports of the same Ferris wheel type craft that span 200 years. Whatever objects are in our oceans, they've been here for a very, very long time. Since the early 1900s, professional sailors...
Yeah, you mean Steven?
Yes.
Say.
No. Since the early 1900s, professional sailors and Navy men have seen lights in the water, and in some cases, craft emerge from the ocean. AUTEC is the Atlantic Undersea Test and Evaluation Center. This is a highly secret Navy facility located within the Bermuda Triangle. It opened in 1967, and it's in a remote location in the Bahamas near very deep water. At AUTEC, the Navy tests all kinds of equipment, including advanced weapons. It's been called the Navy's Area 51.
Inside.
AUTEC base have reported mile-wide craft silently emerging from the sea. They create no sound. They make no waves or splash when going in or out of the water.
31 knots substantial outside. Splash, splash. Mark bearing range.
The USOs are strange enough, but the fact that they don't disturb the water is mind-boggling. No scientist has come up with an explanation for this. One researcher said that there's a force field around the craft that's a vacuum.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and flip it over because this is the first coat. I'm not too worried about how it looks. That way we save a little time.
Now, I don't think that works. A vacuum flying through the clouds or into water would still disrupt it. The only thing that makes sense to me, which makes no sense at all, is that UAPs are somehow interdimensional.
I don't know what that is. That is some real
So they exist in our universe, but they can pass through solid objects as if their physical matter is out of phase with ours. But we do, allegedly, have recovered craft. These are objects we can touch. So maybe this phase shift only happens when the engines are running. Or maybe anti-gravity technology makes a craft impervious to air and water friction. I really don't know. But there are more and more
Just making
videos out
shit
there
up,
of
they
UFOs
just-
shooting into and out of the water without disturbing a drop. This is
Just
clearly an
making
important piece
stuff
of new
up.
technology.
If what we are witnessing is a true trans-medium,
Don't anybody laugh at my painting skills.
that barrier between air and sea or air and space without obstruction, then we're looking at a propulsion system that is so far advanced, it's beyond next generation technology. So we're probably looking at what it is theorized we're looking at is a gravitational propulsion system, a non-reactionary propulsion system.
All right.
In the late 1980s, Gulf Breeze, Florida,
For the
not far
second
from the
one.
secret Navy facility, made global headlines. Local resident
Making
Ed
a
Walters
mess, what I'm
photographed
doing.
a glowing acorn-shaped craft hovering above his neighborhood. His images triggered a wave of UFO sightings in the area, with hundreds of witnesses reporting similar encounters. Skeptics accused Walters of hoaxing the photos via double exposure, but analysis showed no sign of manipulation, only an ominous, unidentified object. Walter's photos are still some of the most compelling I've ever seen.
Thing is real. It can't be no balloon. No balloon, man. Or no balloon. And it's a real, that's a real thing, dude. It's a real thing. Where the hell did it go?
Alright.
John, man.
After this, I gotta go start.
The Earth is covered by
I'm
so
putting a
much
new
water
wall
and
in
so
my
much of it
living
is
room.
unexplored that it seems obvious that
I
aliens
gotta
were
get ready, start
controlling
prepping
this
for
craft.
that. I won't do
Use
that
the
on
ocean as a
stream
way to stay
because,
hidden. In fact, there's a researcher who
well,
says
just
there's
'cause it's hard to film.
tunnels running under the ocean floor. These tunnels connect to large
Can't
alien
give me the
bases.
same quality production as you're getting right now.
Cuban ufologist Maximilian de Lafayette is a leading proponent of the undersea alien tunnels theory. He gets his information from sources in the military and NASA. He claims there's a vast network of tunnels beneath the seabed. UAPs use these to move quickly from one part of the Earth to the other. Within this tunnel network are hubs which contain large bases, 12 bases to be exact, and they're all over the world. South America, Russia,
Flip it
Japan,
over.
and there are bases in places you'd expect. Like several in the Bermuda Triangle, there's a base in the Baltic Sea.
And the aluminum falcon.
Yes, there. And there's a major base in Alaska. Yes,
Motherfucking
under
days.
Mount Hayes. Remember we covered Joseph McMoneagle in the episode about Project 8200? That was a secret CIA program that used psychic spies to remote view locations around the world. Joe and other psychics saw alien bases in Mount Hayes and other mountains. They also saw a lot of alien activity underwater. Joe specifically said that USOs were very busy around the US Navy's base in the Bahamas.
I've remote viewed for every major intelligence agency in America. I did see some USOs that were operating within the vicinity of our tent.
After researching this topic, it's obvious we need a full episode on alien underwater bases. So if you want to see that, let me know. There's so much
Alien
more to cover.
underwater
Alright,
bases.
last thing on this. A few months ago on the After Files, I covered a fascinating 4chan post.
4chan.
I know, 4chan is 4chan. But this person, who claimed to be a former contractor for the Department of Defense, was very believable. He says there's a large alien base underwater in the Bermuda Triangle. The reason planes and boats disappear is because they get too close to the base. In fact, he says the Navy knows where this base is, and they specifically avoid it. The alien base can move. The Navy sees them move, and they set up a new no-go zone. He said that one plane strayed too close
Alright.
and disintegrated into dust.
Put the
Here
first
in the
coat
Philippines,
on.
The U.S. military believes the base
Go
has
clean
been
out
there
our
for a
brush.
long time.
And
At first they thought a few hundred
I
years.
guess we can end the
but now they
stream with
believe
that.
the base
Well, it
goes back
doesn't
to at
matter.
least 4,000 BC.
Drink
It might
coffee.
even be older, though he says there's an internal debate on this.
Yeah, so what the hell is it?
Well, the base is a huge construction facility
Go clean out
used
the
to build
brush.
and deploy UFOs. They're here for research and resources. The military believes the base is operated by some kind of AI, not necessarily a sentient being or group of beings. The aliens, or whoever's in charge of the base, they don't really care about humans. The only time they'll get involved is if we start messing around with nuclear weapons. And we've seen UFOs appear on film of nuclear tests in the past. There's even that story about something shutting down a U.S. nuclear missile facility. Here's how the base works. It decides it wants to survey some area of the Earth.
Actually, I'm not gonna clean out the brush because I'm gonna put another coat on here in a few hours.
Specifically for that purpose.
So we'll just wrap it up real good here, and then it'll be fine. Come back.
That package is then wrapped in a vehicle. The vehicle is deployed from the ocean. It goes on its mission and gathers data, then the craft returns to the base, and the whole thing is broken back down again into raw materials.
It's nice they recycle.
Well, it's fine.
So no aliens, just spaceships that don't go to space?
Nope, there are aliens.
Yes, fin bump.
No, thank you.
Come on, fin bump for aliens. There you go.
And the ships do go to space, but rarely. They're here for Earth, and a little bit of the moon. Again, different episode.
Alright, well, I suppose that's it for now. I'm gonna go upstairs and get some stuff done up there.
The government believes
And
that drones
it is what it is. Thank you for joining.
They're grown as
Hope you have a wonderful day, and
UFOs are
goodbye.
mission specific. Now that I think of it, we could do a whole episode just on this post.
Maybe.
YouTube won't let me link to 4chan.
Smart.
But let me know if you want to see a full episode on all the details. He has a lot more to say.